Hello and welcome back to Hestia's Muse, podcast for astrological devotionals. My name is Liliana Blackstar, and I am here to bring you a spiritual devotional of self-discovery and personal growth that is in some way inspired by astrology. Join me to tune into astrological transits and the Wheel of the Year for inspiration in your greatest task in life, to know yourself. Welcome back to another episode of the Tarot-Astrology Devotionals. I am going over some of the tarot cards of the minor arcana and their relation to specific decans and planets and signs of astrology. So each of the tarot cards are in some way associated with an astrological sign, a decan, a season, or a planet. The 10 of Pentacles is associated with the third decan of Virgo. And that third decan of Virgo is the section of Virgo that is the last third of the sign, from 20 degrees through the end of 29 degrees. And it is sub-ruled by the planet Mercury. So each sign is ruled by a planet, and then each decan is also sub-ruled by a planet. So you can think of the sub-ruler as a shift manager. The entire sign of Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and these final 10 degrees of Virgo are also sub-ruled by Mercury. So you can think of this section of Virgo to be extra mercurial in nature. Overall, the transits and lessons of Mercury will be extra influential to any planet that is traveling through the third decan of Virgo. Therefore, you can interpret the 10 of Pentacles in tarot as having a strong Mercury influence, or to represent Mercury in Virgo. It doesn't have to just only represent when Mercury is in Virgo, but it is helpful to think of both the energy of Virgo and the energy of Mercury as strongly influencing this card. And those archetypes should be blended when you are looking at this card and wanting to interpret it astrologically. So the 10 of Pentacles, generally in a traditional Rider-Waite-Smith-based tarot deck, will show the image of a family gathered in a courtyard. There is usually an elderly person and then some adults and a child. In some cases, there's dogs. There's symbols of riches and success. The story that's being told here is of the elder in the family has established some kind of success in the family line that is being passed down. The adult children are carrying that on and hopefully passing it on to their children. So there is some kind of success here that has been inherited or passed on down a family line, or because of listening to the advice of elders. The 10 of Pentacles has some keywords and concepts that are commonly associated with this card, and those are abundance, ancestry, completion, establishment, family, financial security, generational wealth, homecoming, inheritance, legacy, material wealth, prosperity, security, stability, and tradition. So in general, the 10 of Pentacles represents a culmination of material and familial aspects of life. It signifies the attainment of long-term stability, financial security, and a deep sense of connection with one's heritage and family. In this card, a prosperous family is often depicted, gathered in a grand, secure home. This does not necessarily have to be a bloodline heritage of family. It can absolutely relate to your chosen family, families that you're adopted into, etc. It does not have to be limited to your direct family line, but there's a deep sense of connection and belonging in this card. The Ten of Pentacles suggests that you have reached a point of considerable material wealth or financial success that has come through long-term planning, long-term investments, or inheritance, or the material wealth or financial success is in some way related to that family connection, to your sense of heritage or a family connection, and having a stable foundation that you are getting that success from. So it underscores the importance of family and tradition. This card highlights the value of generational wealth and the security that comes from a strong family network. It might indicate a time of celebration, homecoming, or reconnecting with your roots and your ancestors. Overall, the Ten of Pentacles is a positive card that signifies not only material prosperity, but also the deep emotional satisfaction that comes from a strong sense of belonging, of connection to an ancestral line, and a legacy that has been passed on to you that you are then able to pass on to others. So let's talk a little bit about Mercury in Virgo, because it's not necessarily the first archetype that people would think of when they're looking at this card. So Mercury in Virgo represents a period of meticulous thinking, precision, and analytical prowess. Mercury and Virgo share a strong affinity since Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So when Mercury is in Virgo, it would be an especially potent period of time that amplifies both Virgo's archetypes and Mercury's archetypes. So this would be a time when people's mental faculties are finely tuned. People may become exceptionally detail-oriented, efficient, and organized in their thinking. The influence of Mercury in Virgo is perfect for tasks that require critical analysis, problem solving, and attention to small details. This brings out a communication style that is more methodical, and people under the influence of Mercury in Virgo may feel naturally inclined to offer practical solutions, constructive feedback, and just get more organized in their day-to-day life. It's bringing out this desire to refine your skills, to get better at something, to plan things, plan ahead, and to learn more. Mercury just activates the mind and wants to learn more things, wants to problem solve, and then Virgo wants to be very efficient and very grounded and very practical in all of that. So this can also lend to a tendency towards over-criticism or perfectionism, as that Virgo Mercury energy can kind of create a desire for precision or exacting energy, like the desire for efficiency and organization can become a desire for perfectionism. However, overall, The energy of Mercury combined with Virgo empowers you to excel in matters of intellect, communication, and daily routines, offering an excellent energy for productivity and self-improvement and organization. So while the energy of Ten of Pentacles, we do associate it, I guess, with Virgo, just because Virgo is an earth sign, and we see in this card a lot of symbolism of financial security and wealth, abundance, etc., which we associate with the earth element of tarot, right? But most people would not generally associate this card with the planet Mercury. And I think it's because it is more common for people to associate Mercury with its Gemini traits, and less common for people to think of Mercury in terms of its Virgo traits. And so when people do think of Mercury in terms of its Virgo traits, they are thinking about the pedantic and judgmental attention to detail, right? But the card, the Ten of Pentacles, is depicting a grounded and stable period of success rather than the analytical mental work that most would associate with Mercury in Virgo. However, I think this is simply because we often do not allow space for this part of Mercury to come into our interpretations of what Mercury is. The Gemini type of Mercury that most people are familiar with is the Mercury of the rapid mind and mouth, moving quickly from here to there, easily distracted. There's kind of an immature energy to the Gemini side of Mercury, right? It's active, it's what's this, what's over here, what's over there. It's kind of the ADHD energy that we associate with Mercury, right? And that's kind of the Gemini side of things. But this is really different from the Mercury side of Virgo. The Virgo side of Mercury, which is much more grounded and practical. The Virgo side of Mercury moves at a slower pace with a well thought out plan for each step of the journey. This is a Mercury that has understood the system in which it operates and has followed the rules and teachings of past generations and has found benefit in sticking to the established path. This is the Mercury that eventually finds itself enjoying the success of the Ten of Pentacles. So I think it's just important to remember the duality of Mercury doesn't just come from the type of duality that we associate with Gemini, but it comes from the fact that Mercury is the ruler of Gemini and it's also the ruler of Virgo. And I think we often forget to include the Virgo side of Mercury in our assumptions and definitions of what Mercury is. So the Ten of Pentacles shows us a side of Mercury that pays attention to detail. This tarot card signifies the importance of paying attention to the finer aspects of life, especially in the context of family, financial matters, and tradition. It emphasizes the accumulation of wealth and prosperity through meticulous efforts and long-term planning. The wealth and success of the Ten of Pentacles card is not a wealth and success that happens because of luck or just being in the right place at the right time or anything that wasn't well planned out. This has taken years of time to accumulate. This has occurred through mental precision, analytical skills, and paying attention to details in all areas of life. And then recognizing that certain things, certain rules have been passed down, certain knowledge has been passed down from one generation to the next. And it is efficient to listen to what prior generations have already learned. Yes, part of Mercury is having the open mind that can learn new things or add new information to what we already have, but we have to start on a solid foundation of what we know from the past. For example, Virgo is often associated with healers and medicine. And in order to become a medical doctor, people need to go and receive training and education in an established college of medicine where they receive teachings and knowledge of many, many hundreds of people who have come before them and studied medicine and the human body and how all these things work together. And Mercury is that energy which can say, hey, let's experiment to see if there's something new we can add. But it doesn't just start from scratch every time. It has to build on the foundations of the knowledge that we already have from the generations before us. So this card also speaks about being practical and organized. The Ten of Pentacles underscores the practical aspects of life, such as the management of resources, property, and family affairs. This card suggests the importance of establishing a stable and organized foundation. Mercury's transit through Virgo teaches us to value these organizational abilities. And when we combine the archetypes of Virgo and Mercury, we learn to streamline our daily routines, plan ahead effectively, and improve efficiency in various aspects of life, including work and communication. And just running our day-to-day household life, right? Got to be practical and organized and pay attention to detail. Listen to the foundations of those who have come before us before we can start in adding new ideas to things, right? So Mercury in Virgo brings a focus on long-term goals. If we think of the energy of Mercury in Gemini, I often think of a curiosity that is seeking some kind of instant gratification, whereas the energy of Mercury with Virgo influences long-term thinking and strategic planning for the future. It is favorable for setting clear goals, refining your skills, getting better at things, and making decisions that will have a lasting benefit far into the future. So that's how, again, the Ten of Pentacles is representing the idea of generational wealth and legacy, emphasizing the value of creating a stable and secure future for yourself and your family. And it is focused on the type of success that is long-lasting rather than one of instant gratification. So I love how when we study the tarot and we go, okay, this card is associated with this planet in this sign, we can get a deeper understanding of the cards, but we also get a deeper understanding of the signs and the planets through these archetypal images. Because again, like I said, a lot of times I think we culturally at this time associate Mercury with more of its Gemini traits and sometimes can dismiss its more Virgo side of things. And so this card really reminds us to examine the more slow moving, long-term thinking, strategic planning side of Mercury. And also just emphasizes how Virgo is really a very mercurial sign, not in the same way that Gemini is a mercurial sign, right? So I do have some devotional questions for you. These can be for your meditation, for your journaling, just any time that you want to connect with this card on a personal level. Or even for right now, it's perfect because Mercury is in the sign of Virgo. So Mercury does not have to be in Virgo for you to experience the archetypal energy of this card, or the combination of Mercury and Virgo energy, but especially when any planet is transiting the last decan of Virgo, or if you have any planets in your birth chart that are in the last decan of Virgo, then this card would become probably more relevant and useful for you to study for your personal growth and self-examination. So here are some questions that I thought of, and you can pause so that you can write them down or just answer them to yourself. Are you currently connecting with your family in meaningful ways? Remember, this can be your chosen family, not limited to blood relatives. What teachings or traditions of your elders, ancestors, or people of the past are you carrying forward? What teachings or traditions are you passing on to younger generations? What kind of long-term goals do you have for your future, and how are you working toward these goals? In what ways are you being practical and organized? Or in what ways do you need to be more practical and organized moving forward? What area of life is requiring close attention to detail and problem solving at this time? How are you managing your money and resources? Do you need to be more cautious and mature with your money or resources? How are you enjoying your successes and any benefits of your hard work? And how are you sharing the benefits of your success with your family or loved ones? All right, thank you so much for joining me again for this Tarot-Astrology Devotional about the 10 of Pentacles. The next episodes that I record will be about the tarot cards associated with Libra season as we get started in Libra season starting on September 23rd with the fall equinox here in the northern hemisphere. So I'm so excited to be working through these tarot cards with y'all, and I'd love to hear back from you. You can comment here on Spotify, or you can leave a post on my social media pages on either Facebook or Instagram, letting me know how you enjoy these episodes, what you think. If you would like to help support the work that I'm doing, you can always support me by signing up for my Patreon. For $5 or $10 a month, you will have access to a written version of this post, plus my other astrological posts that I create through the month. And or instead of signing up for my Patreon, you can also hire me to read your astrological chart. You can find me at the Patreon is www.patreon.com/HestiasMuse. And then my main website is www.hestiasmuse.net. You can find Hestia's Muse on Facebook and hestiasmuse.astrology on Instagram. And I would love to hear from you. All right, I hope you'll have a great week and a fantastic equinox, and we'll talk to you again soon.